Alright, so this is a quick update on the VG. In case you didn't notice, I blew the diff up last night. I just thought I'd just do a quick update to say that I was out cruising in it. I decided to give it a wash and put some fuel in it and do a couple of skids on the way home, and the little 6-cylinder 25 spline axles went bang. Well, it could have been the center, I'm not sure, but anyway, it grenaded itself. So it's yeah, look, it's being demoted to the paddock of death here, but it will be back. Just at the moment, I'm just got too many cars at home, so it's getting parked out here. It's the middle of summer, so I'm not really going to get too much rain on it, so it's not a big deal being outside for a couple of months until I get into it. I'm going to give you a quick tour of my block. A few people have asked about the cars here. I won't go into too much depth, but if anyone wants to know more about any of the cars that are here, give me a shout out and I'll do a bit of a spill on it. But basically the plan for this car now is to pull a diff out of a ute that I own. We'll go over there now. So the VGs here in Australia come with a Borg-Warner 25mm or 25 spline axle Borg-Warner. Now this AU ute here, it's actually a factory, it's a factory V8 5-speed ute, and these come factory with a Borg-Warner 4-pinion LSD with 345 or 323 diff gears. I'm not sure which one's which, but it's a really strong burly diff, and it does have already leaf springs. So I'm going to shorten that up, and that's going to go in the VG, and that should be pretty bulletproof for the sort of power that's got. So a bit of a tour around here. I got this from Ian, the farmer next door, who I bought this block of land from. It's a, what is it? ZH? ZG? ZH maybe? Fairlane. Factory LSD. Borg-Warner. It's pretty trashed. His kids shot it with a gun, like as you do. But yeah, factory 302 Cleveland with heaps of good bits left on it. So I'm going to be using that to save some of these other cars that are here. I've got another AU here. I bought that for the interior and the diff. Just it was cheap and some of the parts I needed. I got this little TE Cortina here. I paid $1,000 for this thing. It comes with the 250 Crossflow. It's already got a 5-speed in it, T5. It's actually a pretty neat little car. It was painted back in the day in acrylic. I'm going to tidy that up, change up the wheels, and get that back on the road. This Fairmont here I've literally just bought that for the interior and the diff. Again, little Kia truck. This used to be my daily driver. Hopefully it's got a blown head gasket or cracked head. If that's the case, I'll be repairing it and I'll bang that on the market. This is my XB. It's a factory GS V8 4-speed. It's actually walnut glow, which is a brown color with gold GS stripes, which will be a nice car, but at the moment it's looking pretty terrible. It's had a prang in the front. It's got a caved in door because it rolled off the trailer, but basically that's going to get a full resto. And yeah, factory V8 4-speed is going to be a real nice car. It's just on the list of things to do. Now I've obviously got a bit tangled up here. Back to here, another AU wagon I got given to from my cousin. Not really sure what I'm going to do with it. Probably just pull some bits and pieces off it and then maybe bin it. I've got this XB ute. This used to be owned by a mate of mine, which is a total coincidence. He got rid of this car many years ago. It used to be light blue, as you can see there. Factory V8 XB ute, and it's got a few good bits and pieces on it. It's got a 351 or a 302 in it. It's pretty rough around the edges nowadays, so I'm unsure what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, funny story. I bought this car for either the parts or to maybe just build as a drag car or something, and then a friend of mine who has a really tough XB, probably the toughest XB street car getting around Australia, noticed that the number plates match up to his old number plate. So this used to be his car, and apparently the owner that bought it off him got sick of people asking if it's Phil's car, because it was bright blue and obvious as anything. So he painted it matte black, and then it went to shit, and now I've got it. This international truck, it's a C1510, I think. Oh no, C1500. Ex-SA Water truck, and it is a cool old thing. I paid $1,200 for it. It's from an auction. It was defective for tyres, so I needed to just get the tyres replaced on it and sort the brakes out, get the defect off, and then it'll be on the road. I'm not sure if it's going to be turned into a car hauler or something like that. Don't know yet. Another XB ute. I bought this from the same bloke that I bought the first XB ute off of. It's another 351, as I've been told. It's got a lot of good bits on it. GS bonnet, it's got a GS dash in it. Runs, drives, looks terrible, but it actually is a pretty solid car. So that will be getting an overhaul as well, eventually. We've got 3 F trucks here. These are owned by my mate Charlie Dixon. Check out his channel on YouTube, Charlie Dixon, and keep up to date with all the stuff he's doing on these things. This is going to be, he's making one really tough one out of the 3. One's going to get a supercharged Coyote engine, and it's going to be used as his daily. I think he's going to keep it as a patina looking car. This red guy here, that's actually got a 302 in it. You'll catch that on another episode that we've done together, getting it ready and doing some thrashing around in the block here, and it's good fun. This is actually a pretty complete car, so the plan with that one is just to get that together, legal, and just give it a bit of a clean up. And I think he's just going to bang that up for sale, and that is going to then fund the build on the other 2. I'm not sure what he's going to do with the last one, but he'll cross that bridge when he comes to it. And this AU, it looks a bit worse for wear at the moment. You might think I have a thing for AUs. I actually don't, but they just sort of tend to land in my lap. So this thing, I bought it for $1,400 because I wanted to pull the motor out of it. But once I drove it, it actually was sort of too good to wreck. So I might save it. I'm not sure. The 302 Windsors in these things go really, really well. So yeah, initially that was going to go on my Fairlane daily driver. But when I drove it, I thought I couldn't, I don't know, it sounds silly, but I couldn't be able to take another factory Aussie-made V8 off the road. And last but not least, my Dodge Ute, which if you haven't noticed, it's a bit hard to tell in the current state it's in. This is a Ute version of my lead sled, the Doom sled. So this is, hoping there's no snakes in here because it is middle of summer. This is another 55 or 56 Dodge Kingsway Ute. They're actually rare as rock and horse shit, but because this is too far gone, what this is going to be used for is garden art at my entrance. So I'm going to paint my number on it. I'm going to put the front end back in it, paint my number, yeah, on the door, as I said, and yeah, plant around it and make a nice little entry. Got my little go-kart in there for when I get back around to build my go-kart track. And way over there we've got an XC that I'm going to help my friend Andrea build up, and that will be running just the factory 250 crossflow, but that's actually a factory power steering air conditioned car, which is a very good thing. Over the back we've got further on, got my little daily driver Kia truck, which is a turbo diesel, and my Falcon Ute, and the beginning of my shed. Well, I'm sort of halfway through the shed. We'll make our way over there if anyone wants to see that. And hoping this video isn't getting a bit too long-winded, but basically this is the shed that I've been building. It's come to a bit of a screeching halt because of Christmas and funds. Got the concreting down. There's a little bit left over, so we've got a bit of a path out the front, which is handy. It is 19 meters long, 19 or 18 meters long, can't remember, by 9, which is in total 162 square meters internally. So it's going to be a fairly decent shed. Obviously it will never be big enough, but it's a fairly good start, and it's got 3 meter wall height with a decent pitch, so I'll be able to do my hoist in here, no worries at all. that end down there will be my workshop area, so I'll have all my tools and or whatnot, and then I'm going to have 4 roller doors across the front, and then roller door out the back, overlooking beautiful forest in South Australia. All right, it's pretty warm, so I'm sweating like a dog. But that's that. Definitely something I don't usually do, these updates, but I thought it was probably necessary because I do have a lot of shit going on here, and quite often people ask me. So I thought I'd share that with everyone. And of course, the unfortunate news of blowing up the VG, but at least it's only a diff. I was expecting it. It was sort of in the plans, not planning to blow it up, but I was expecting the diff to explode, which it finally has. So it's going to come here, rest up for a little while, then I'll get the LSD shortened up, put in it, and it will be a beast again. But in the meantime, carry on with a few projects at home, and I'll definitely be keeping you up to date with what's up next. So see you all next time on the Iron Empire. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and take it easy.